So, before I begin the recap show properly like I normally would, usually I have some kind of witty, funny introduction. But before I get into all that, I just want to take this moment to express my deepest sympathy for anybody who lost family members and loved ones in the terrorist attacks that took place in France yesterday. And I want to take a moment of silence on this show in honor of those people who were killed in those attacks. So, let me take my acting hat, so to speak, off, because this is not just the character I portray or anything like that. This is something that I personally want to do before going into the review and the rest of the show. So, thank you for indulging me in that. And the Bruins, as a class organization that it is, they did play the French national anthem and honored the people that were attacked over there as well prior to the game being started. So, with that being said, let me try to do the best that I can to entertain you guys with the Bruins Recap Show. So, very tough test tonight for the Boston Bruins. And if they get an early start in this one, they need a full 60-minute effort, which is something that they have not been able to produce at home this season. They are abysmal 1-5-1 at home, and that needs to stop. But they are playing a team that they have been pretty good against, the Detroit Red Wings. Starting goaltenders for tonight, 2 U's, 2 K's, Tuukka Rask, and instead of Jimmy Howard, it's Peter Mrazek, as Detroit has a little number one goaltender controversy. And we're going to start the first period real quick. I just want to point out that it was a good opening period for Boston. They didn't get any goals or no score or anything to that, but really good 20-minute effort of hockey to start the game. And when you are playing a good first period, you know when you outshoot the other team, and that's exactly what Boston did, outshooting Detroit 12-5 in that first period. And it leads to some success in the second period as what a hustle play here, as Matt Bolesky trying to take it up out of the zone. He loses track of it. It finds its way to Patrice Bergeron, who says, I'm going to take it all the way, takes a shot off the shoulder of Mrazek. It bounces back behind him, and Patrice Bergeron puts in his own rebound, making it a 1-0 game, and that is what we call a hustle play, folks. That is something the Bruins need more of, and that is why this guy has won so many Selke Awards. He is not even perhaps, the best player on this Boston Bruins team, night in, night out. There is no better than Patrice Bergeron, and that's a leadership type play. That's the effort that this team needs from everybody. Follow his lead, and that's exactly what happens further on in the second period. What a play by Louis Eriksson on the wall here. Could have just chipped it down and given up possession, but instead he turns the other way and finds David Krejci coming up the other end into the Detroit zone, putting on a little dangle fest against the defense. And I think the jockstrap's still hanging up from the rafters, and he buries it on a little shot behind Mrazek. 2-0 Boston. And then an even better play here as the Bruins were trapped in their own zone for a little bit, and Brad Marchand winning a one-on-one battle, kicking the puck to his stick and skating it down, looking over his shoulder, finds Torrey Krug, but first he does a little forehand, backhand, passes it to Krug, and Krug buries it for a 3-0. What a second period this was. And the big thing that the Boston Bruins needed to do in the third period was to finish the job. Play another smart 20-minute of hockey here to finish this game. And there was a little bit of a hiccup as they did penalty kill Zach Ronaldo into the box. They gave up a power play goal to Detroit's Justin Abdelkader as a deflection on a backhand off of the Cronwall deflection. But they stayed with it. They stayed focused. They didn't cough up another big lead. And this is what the Bruins need to be at home. They can give up this one goal. It won't show up too bad. But once that goal went in, they umped it up. They played with hustle. They played with jam. They finished the job at home. And I know this wasn't as funny as I usually make it. I tried my best, but anyway, 3 stars of the game. Torrey Krug. What some really good play, and what a shot on that 2-on-1. Great setup by Brad Marchand. As I stated earlier, the number 2 star arguably could have made him the number 1 star tonight. Patrice Bergeron. Just not only that one big hustle play to put in a goal, but also just little things, little defensive plays that you can see. If you look and pay attention to the details of hockey, you see this guy pulling some amazing stuff, whether it be deflecting passes, blocking shots, or just finding the right guy, putting the puck where it needs to go. Patrice Bergeron is a master at this. And then your number 1 star, 2 U's, 2 K's, and 2 big points against a Detroit team that they just jumped in the standings. Tuukka Rask, 22 saves, big saves nonetheless. Some very big saves in this. Only giving up 1 goal on the power play. This is a big win for Boston as they continue this homestand on Tuesday night with the return of Jesus or Jumbo, whatever you want to call him, Joey Thornton, former Boston Bruin. We'll see you then Tuesday night on the next Bruins Recap Show.